26, 1999.
Take me back to your draft weekend.
It was crazy, especially coming from where I came from, being a small town Shiocton kid and going to University of Wisconsin Stevens Point, being a Division III college. Never in my wildest dreams I thought I was going to get drafted. So I know during colleges, after my junior year or before my junior year, I knew there was some interest, but my roommates and I always kind of laughed and we thought it was hilarious that scouts were coming. And then by the time my senior year, I had a pretty good idea. There's enough interest and enough scouts that came through the university there, visiting me, watching my film, got invited on some visits. So I knew there was a high likelihood of at least making it as a free agent, and then being drafted, just unreal.
So walk me through, where were you? How did it happen? Because, I mean, back then, that was when they were still in New York City. I mean, were you...
Yeah, back then it was a 2-day event. They had the first 3 rounds on Saturday, and the 4 through 7 was on Sunday. So came home, my roommates in college, we came home and just hung at my parents' house. My mom made a big spread of food, and we knew Saturday was highly unlikely. So we had a good time Saturday night. And then on Sunday, the nerves were there, and we had a lot of local family and friends were there at my parents' house. And, you know, things are just different. We didn't have cell phones then. Have a landline with a 20-foot cord on it. Waiting for the phone to ring that morning, the Rams called, which was weird because they were a team that never came to my pro day. They didn't show a ton of interest, but they said, hey, you're on our radar. If we get a chance, we're going to draft you. I'm like, holy cow, this is really weird. And then once we got a little bit further in the day, it was the beginning of the 6th round, and the phone rang, and it was the Detroit Lions. And they kept me online the entire time, said, hey, I forgot who's ahead of us, or them in the pick, and if they don't draft you, we're going to take you with our next pick. So I'm on my landline the entire time, and she's like, you can put down the phone, you can be with your family. My name at that time, they weren't announcing it. I was just scrolling across the bottom screen, and got a lot of great pictures of that and a little celebration quick, and then it was back on the phone of getting the details for the agenda for flying out to Detroit later that week for the minicamp then.
Yeah, they kept you on the phone so the team before couldn't call you because then
You're right. Back then it was just busy tone come up for sure. Never thought of that.
Yeah, but, I mean, you mentioned, you know, kind of never in your wildest dreams, probably, did you think,
not
right?
I mean, not at all. I just always loved playing football. I went to Stevens Point. You don't receive a scholarship there. I went there just to get an education. I have to say that right, but to play football. And my mom always referred to it as the expensive football camp. I went there to play football, and I knew as I was there longer, I knew the importance of an education. But I just loved playing football and never ever thought about it. Wasn't my intentions to go there and hey, I'm gonna make it to NFL someday. That's every kid's dream, right? To make it to NFL, and then the second dream that they have is making it to the Super Bowl, and I was fortunate enough to do that. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what would you say to the kids today, right? I mean, they're kids, right? You were a kid back then. Like these guys today that are going to be, you know, drafted here in Green Bay.
Right. You know, never give up on your dream. Things are much different now. The stories of Division III players coming up through and getting that opportunity are a little bit less with the transfer portal, and the kids aren't with social media. They're not going unnoticed or missed like I potentially was at that time. But don't give up on your dreams. I remember throughout I was getting attention. I worked at Hillshire in the summertime, and I remember different people giving me grief about, you're not big enough. You really think you're going to play in the NFL? And just dogging me because I'm not big enough. They didn't think I was fast enough, and I never let that deter me. I stuck in my mind. I knew what I wanted to do. I worked my butt off. I was blessed with some talent, a lot of talent, and I was blessed with some great opportunities. And I always pride myself that, you know, I'm proud enough to say that I had a lot of luck also on my side, but I took advantage of my opportunities and I made the best of those opportunities. I worked my butt off. There's a lot of days of most of my workouts are always just by myself, and it's hard to push yourself at times, but I was able to do that to get myself and my body prepared for that next level.
What do you think about the fact that the draft is going to be here? And I mean, are you going?
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, for sure. My wife and I were talking, and she's like, are we going to go? I'm like, we have to. It's in our backyard. Like, this isn't only going to happen who knows how many more times, right? But it's in our backyard. We have to go and just see the production and the experience part of it.
So you made phone calls to the Steelers. You're gonna be in the Lions, I guess, since they're the ones that that draft you. But you won your Super Bowl with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Or they have these pens, I call them, of the rabid fans on the first night. Are you gonna be in there? And you're.
I haven't reached out to anybody, but it's a good reminder I should. My wife also gives me grief all the time because I don't try to take advantage of connections that I possibly have to do certain fun things like that. But we'll see. It'll be cool. Either way, I'm going to be there. Good idea to reach out to them, but it's not really my style. I like to not overstay my welcome, to say it right.
Yeah, but if they asked you to announce a pick.
Oh, for sure. All day long I do that. I haven't received that phone call yet, so I don't know if they're still calling my parents' number. That's disconnected now. They finally got cell phones, but we'll see. But yeah, whole different times now than what it was back when I got drafted, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal back then.
Oh, it's
I mean,
huge. It still is a huge deal.
I mean, it's like it's a production.
It's
now.
a way bigger production now. Yes, for sure. It would be cool to be drafted nowadays. I think it was awesome then. Don't get me wrong. We after all the commotion was done at my parents' house of celebrating a little bit there, and then at the Riverell, it burned down now in Shiocton, but that was like the hometown bar that hosted everything. It was packed full of people waiting for us to get there, so we all went to Riverell afterwards. All my college coaches were there. They bought half barrels of beer, and we partied the rest of the night at Riverell and had a blast. So, yeah.
Good memories.
It was good times.